Hey everybody, how are you? Good day, good evening? I hope so. One day closer to the start of football season. College comes first, then the NFL. I can't wait. I've always said this. For this line of work, I hate August. Nothing happens in August unless you're a baseball fan or you like talking about golf. And I watch the golf. I've been watching the FedEx playoffs, but you don't talk about it on this format or on a radio show or it's not doesn't move the needle. Football moves the needle. The Kings on this show move the needle. August, I'm going to talk about how bad the Giants and the A's are. Really? I'm going to talk about how pathetic the Yankees and the Mets are. I'm going to talk about other teams in baseball that should be much better than theirs. No, I'm not. Come on. Football. I saw Brian Schottenheimer came out and said that he fully expects Micah Parsons to be on the field on September 4th when the Eagles and the Cowboys hook up. He has not practiced. Now, he's been there. He's been at meetings and walkthroughs, but he has not practiced. So we'll see. I would tend to believe that Parsons will be on the field as well. But again, and we're talking about Micah Parsons here. The guy is great. No practices. Like, how many snaps is he going to be able to play? What will his effectiveness be? All of that. So we'll see. My 8-year-old son, Jonas, says hi, Grant. Hello right back. Thank you for checking us out here on If You Don't Like That. But I keep the messages coming because, I'm being brutally honest. There's just not a lot going on in the sports world. And we go from like a light switch. The light is off. And then Labor Day weekend, the light comes on and it stays on for a long time. All right. And speaking of Labor Day weekend, which culminates with Labor Day on September 1st, the next day's a rather big day. That's right. Because I will be on at 3 o'clock weekday afternoons on Fox Sports Sacramento, 104.7 FM, 890 AM. Make sure you download the Fox Sports KSAC app. All right? Download the app. You'll be glad that you did. They do it on WFAN all day in New York. June to September 1st is dead time. I know. New York's a little bit different, Patrick. Like if I were doing sports talk radio in New York, even though it's the dead time, there's enough baseball fans and enough people that love the Yankees and the Mets that can carry you through the summer. That doesn't carry you in Sacramento. It doesn't. All right. Hello from Vacaville. I won't be able to listen live to the shows on the weekdays. Can I listen to replays on the app? You'll be able to, yes. There will be many ways to listen to the show, either live or after the effect. Thank you very much. Thank you, Telly. Can't wait for September. Best month of the year. Labor Day weekend. Football's back. NBA training camp. MLB playoffs taking shape. And Grant is back in Sac, baby. Yes. That's right. September's going to be pretty freaking awesome, huh? Yeah. Pretty freaking awesome. I don't follow the UFC. It's just not my cup of tea. It's too, and don't laugh when I say this, it's too gory for me. And I love hockey fights, and I played football, and I played lacrosse. I played hockey. Like I played sports that are big-time contact sports. First of all, I'm not a wrestling fan, Preston. I'm not a wrestling fan. So when they go to the mat, I'm like, it's just not my cup of tea. And I mean this. It's just, for me personally, it's too violent for me. I don't like to see people getting kicked in the head and knocked out with, blood pouring out everywhere. Like, that's just not my thing. It's not my thing. So I've tried to watch it. I have a lot of respect, by the way, for the athletes When I got to know Uriah Faber when he was, the king of the sport in his weight class, I had tremendous admiration and respect for him, and I still do. And I've tried to watch it. It's just not my deal. Not my deal. Do you? I know a lot of people love it. It's just not my thing. So if I am at a sports bar and I see the UFC on, I don't even watch it. I don't even pay attention to it. I don't care for it. It's not my deal. I've never been to mixed martial arts and everything that goes with that sport. And again, I have a lot of respect for the athletes and what they have to go through to get to be one of the best in the world, but it's not my thing. Yeah, I went to a professional bull riding event once in Sacramento, and then I went over in Spain, that's another. One time I did that. One time. Boxing is a dead sport. I would agree. I used to love boxing. I can't remember the last time I watched a fight. Is it just the Fox Sports app? There will be, I don't know yet. There will be the Fox Sports app and there will be the website. There will be, you can go to the Fox Sports KSAC website. There will be different ways for you to, don't worry. We are going to put the shows out for you that you can listen to after I do them. Right now, I don't know if it's going to be Spotify, Apple. I don't know. We're still in the infancy, but don't worry. You'll be able to listen to the show. All right. I get it. I'm like you to an extent, but I love the strategy that goes into it. I don't even understand the sport well enough to understand the strategy that goes into it. So I couldn't even comment on that because I don't follow the sport to a point where I even know what the strategy is. I mean, I'm sure there's strategy. There's strategy in all sports, but I wouldn't be able to comment on that. In the next 50 years, could you see Sacramento having another professional team? What would it take, and what sport would thrive in Sacramento? Well, 50 years is too long of a time. So I don't think 50 years is, I think we ought to reduce that to 10 to 15 years. I could see the MLS possibly coming to Sacramento. In the next 10 years, I don't see any other sport coming to Sacramento. There's not enough corporations. There's not enough money to make Major League Baseball work. Hockey's not an option. Football's not an option. It's just no. To answer your question, no. No. Hey, D. Johnson, just so you know, I'm gonna address this right now. I don't need a co-host, whether that individual is white, black, purple. Okay. I don't need to have a person of color next to me. I don't need to have a Hispanic next to me. I don't need to have a Caucasian next to me. I don't judge people on their skin color, and I would never hire somebody to be in my studio based on the color of their skin. If I have a co-host, it's going to be because we mesh and they're very good. Okay? So I'm doing the Grant Napier show. That's what I'm doing. I'm not talking about politics on my radio show. I'm not talking about this crap that you just brought up. I'm talking about sports. Okay? That's what I'm doing. I'm not taking questions on All Lives Matter. I'm not taking questions on stupid, ridiculous, absurd topics. I'm talking sports. Now, if politics and something of that nature intersect with a sport, then I have to talk about it. But if you want politics, if you want all the woke crap, if you want all of that nonsense, go listen to somebody else. Seriously. Go listen to somebody else. I don't care if it's a Pokemon next to me, if they're really good. Thank you, Dennis. And that other person that will be with me at times is Ryan. I know it's preseason and it's too early, but what are your thoughts on Jackson Dart? What week do you think Giants start thinking about playing him this season? The guy's been tremendous in the 2 preseason games. He looks like he belongs. He looks like he's somebody that you can get excited about in regards to the future. You know, if Russell Wilson were to get hurt, number one, assuming it's not the first month of the season. Number two, if the Giants are just terrible and we roll around to December, I could see him playing, but that's about it. There's no reason to rush him. All right. What's up, buddy? What's up, Grant? Hope all is well. Watching as I walk home from work. Good for you. Be careful when you cross the street if you're watching, all right? I don't want to be responsible if you're getting hit by a car. Appreciate it. Thank you. Seems like sports cards are coming back. Did I have any sports cards growing up? I sure did. I had so many baseball cards that we all used to buy and flip and trade in the 60s. Everyone wanted Mickey Mantle. When you got a Mickey Mantle card, you were like, oh my gosh. That's how my love of bubblegum started. Buying those packs of baseball cards with bubblegum in them. And I became addicted to bubblegum. Well, I had so many great baseball cards. You know, when you're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you're not thinking about the potential value of a card. You know, you put them in a shoebox, and then I think they're thrown out when you go to college. So Stephen A. Smith is a mess. He gets too much into politics and race card lately. I don't watch it. That's why I don't watch it. All right. Yes, Dennis, I did put them in my bicycle spokes. We all did. Yes, we did. We all did. You didn't put Mickey Mantle in your spokes, so Dennis. You didn't put Mickey Mantle in your spokes. But yes. What's my take on the PGA Tour returning to a winner-take-all method this week for the Tour Championship with everyone starting even par instead of starting strokes based on ranking? I think it's great. You know, if you were number one, you're already at 10 under par. Like, how's that fair? So I like it. I think it's much better. I think it's much better. I like it. You know, you're down to 30 golfers, right? So you're all going to make a lot of money, even if you finish 30th. And you should all start on even footing. I like the way they're doing it. I like the way they're doing it. I don't know of anyone in my era growing up that didn't put baseball cards with a clothespin on your bicycle, on the wheels. We all did. We all did. I don't know anyone that did it. It was a cool noise, man, riding down the street or on the sidewalk. Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate the well wishes. D. Johnson, a DEI fan. Maybe. I don't know. That's not happening, so don't worry about it. If I ever have a legitimate co-host, it's not going to be based on the color of their skin, okay? It's going to be based on talent. It's going to be based on how we mesh. It's going to be based on, can they attract an audience, keep an audience? It's going to be based on their knowledge. It's going to be based on their opinions. It's going to be based on their credibility. It's not going to be based on their ethnicity, their religion, their sexual orientation. I don't give a damn about that. You know me better than that. Stop it. Hopefully you can attend Radio Row at Super Bowl week in Santa Clara. Maybe. Haven't really even thought about that. Maybe. I haven't even thought about that, but we'll get to that. I've done Radio Row. I did Radio Row in Houston. I did Radio Row in Miami. I did Radio Row the last time the Super Bowl was in Santa Clara. I did Radio Row from San Francisco. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not doing it in San Francisco, though. I'll be afraid of getting killed walking down the street. Still mad about the Valanciunas trade now that I think we're going to keep Dario on a roster for no reason. Dario can't play. I mean, he's proven that with too many teams. He's just a body. He's someone that you need for practice. That's what it is. You know, I hate to be harsh, but, you know, out of 82 games, he might play well 2 games. Dario Saric, And I don't know him. I'm not anti. He just is what he is. He's not an effective NBA player. You know, when's the last time I wrote a bike or rode a bike? I understand, Dennis. I'm just busting your chops. The last time I was on a bike was 2 years ago in, what was the name of that island? 2 years ago in Kokood, Kood as in dog, Thailand. That's the last time I was on a bike. What about you, Dennis? I know when John was on a bike, my main man, John, he's on a bike all the time. It's been a while. 2 years. 2 years. Been on a motorbike, though. Does that count? Motorbikes? Would that count, Dennis? Riding a motorbike? Not being on it, riding it. Does that count? Not like a motorcycle, but like, a scooter or a motorbike. Different size scooters and motorbikes, not full-fledged motorcycle. Does that count? Tour de France. Oh, my God. All right, stationary bike doesn't count, my man. That doesn't count. No. Stationary bike's not going to do it. No. Hey, New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. They're available around the clock 24/7. Got their number on the screen, the website, or newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRXplumbing.com. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. Dennis, I got something for you or anyone else. So, we talk about traveling to different parts of the world, right? When this was about the same trip 2 years ago, I was in Koh Samui. Beautiful, beautiful island in Thailand, very large. 5 days, rented a motorbike, a good power, heavy, sturdy motorbike. 5 days. Okay. What do you think that cost me to rent that bike for 5 days? 50. That's right. $50 US. $10 a day. Didn't even have to bring it back filled up. Nope. $50. Amazing, cruising around the islands on a motorbike. It's great. Objectively, would Sacramento be on your list of NBA cities you would not want to visit, similar to Memphis? I know you don't like downtown Sacramento at all. I think Doco is really, really good. So if you're staying at the Sawyer Hotel for a night and you're at Doco, that's fine. That's fine. You got the restaurants, you got entertainment, you have everything you need right there. So if I were a visiting broadcaster, I'd be okay staying at Doco. Sacramento is Paris, France, compared to Memphis. Okay? I'm just going to, a matter of fact, there was a story this week in the Memphis newspaper that puts the Memphis Grizzlies' future in real jeopardy. And one of the biggest reasons for that is the crime in downtown Memphis. It's not safe. I'm sorry. It's just not. And it's gotten much worse than the last time I was there 5 years ago. They got real problems in Memphis. Now, the surrounding areas are beautiful, where they just had the golf tournament. I mean, but the city, awful. I mean, it's terrible. Only $50, Dennis. Yep. I'm your Anthony Bourdain. Yeah, I don't eat the food like that, Dennis. I'm pretty picky with what I eat, my friend. I'm the Anthony Bourdain of traveling and going to neat little places, but I'm not eating the food like that. Like Anthony Bourdain would eat anything, right? Anything. I'm not eating, nah. At this point, I'd rather stay in Roseville instead of downtown. I understand downtown Sacramento has some issues that I hope that they can improve on. I really do. But Doko, I like Doko. I think they did a great job with it. All right. I really do. I agree with you. I could see Memphis being relocated to Seattle if they don't expand. And the other franchise I could see is New Orleans. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Or I could see Memphis also moving to Nashville as a possibility. Oh, this is very easy. Would I rather go to a bar in Boston and have a beer or a Memphis bar for a beer? That's so simple. Memphis in a heartbeat. I'm not going to Boston at all for a beer. You think I'm going to sit in a bar in Boston? What's wrong with you? You know what the best part about Boston is? Logan Airport at the departure hall. That's the best part about Boston. I mean, that's what I love about Boston. Or Amtrak. Amtrak, right to Penn Station in New York. That and Logan Airport are the two best things to do in Boston. Not counting New York City during my travels, which regular hotel was the nicest? What was second worst other than Memphis? The nicest hotel by far, shouldn't say by far, that's not fair, was the Peninsula Hotel in Chicago. Best hotel on the circuit. Phenomenal. 5 stars doesn't do it justice. Everyone loves going to the Peninsula Hotel in Chicago. Second worst hotel other than the Westin in Memphis? Oklahoma City. The Skirvin Hilton. I would say that. I think they have a new hotel in Oklahoma City that the team stay at. Those were the two. Those two. No, you will not be seeing me at Cheers anytime soon. You were right about that. The will to clean up crime is weak. It seems that way, right? Where everybody knows your name. Not going to Boston. Nope. Not going. Have I been to Laos? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. He was an exotic eater, talking about Anthony Bourdain. Boy, was he ever. Wow. Speaking of exotic, all right, I don't know if I would call prime seafood and steaks exotic, but I would call it unbelievably delicious at Bennett's. It is awesome. And I will be there next week. And for the following weeks, I can't wait to get back to Sacramento and go to Bennett's, whether it's Sacramento, Roseville, the West Side Grill in Rockland. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com to make a reservation. Enjoy their prime seafood and steaks, their taste of summer menu, their brunch on the weekends. It's awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to get to Bennett's. I'll be there next week. Bennett's, Sacramento, Roseville, the West Side Grill in Rockland. Make sure you go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com to make a reservation and more. Biggest heartbreak moment I've done through in sports, very simple. Game 4, Lakers. Whoops, sorry about that. Game 4, Lakers, Kings. I was doing the game by myself on radio. The Robert Horry shot, by far. That's number one. That's number one. That was the most heartbreaking, painful moment that I've ever experienced as an announcer. Hello, Stan. It says, hey, Grant, haven't been on here in a while. Congratulations on the new gig with Fox. Do you think you'll be able to parlay your job to broadcasting live at the games at Golden One? I don't think so. No. But for right now, I'm very happy to be doing this. Very, very happy. Very happy. What do I think will happen if the WNBA Golden State made the playoffs and can't host a home playoff game at the Chase Center due to a tennis tournament schedule conflict? I really don't think about it because I don't watch the WNBA. I don't care about the WNBA. So, like, it wouldn't matter to me. I wouldn't even care. I watch women's college basketball. I enjoy that a lot. I won't spend 1 second watching the WNBA. They have completely turned me off as a sport that I would want to watch. All right. I'm not watching any sport that's all about black, white, white, black, black, white, white, black, black, white, white, black. I'm not doing it. I don't want anything to do with that sport. And the girls, the women in that sport, all right, have no one to blame but themselves for how they have handled everything involving Caitlin Clark and the last few years. All right. Like Caitlin Clark is the Tiger Woods, okay, of the WNBA. And the jealousy and the racial overtones towards this league is something I don't want anything to do with. I won't watch it. I haven't watched it. If it's on at a bar or restaurant, I won't even see who's playing. Don't care. College basketball, bring it on. Love watching women's college basketball, and I really mean that. WNBA? No. Very rarely do I see an alligator in Florida. I mean, in Miami, there aren't a lot of alligators, all right? If you go to the Everglades, but I don't go to the Everglades. I went out to a friend's at Fort Myers, and he lives near a little body of water, and he said there are alligators in there, but I never saw one. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen an alligator in Florida other than being cooked on a rotisserie barbecue pit. That's about the only time I've seen an alligator, and I really mean that. So, yeah, I don't see it. Never even thought about that now that you bring it up. Haven't. I doubt you're going to find any alligators at Sunrise Landing in Calusa. I'd be shocked, all right? Unless someone's got a pet alligator, which I don't even know if that's legal. But I do know this. If you go to Sunrise Landing and check out all their beautiful models and you spend some time out in Calusa, I think you're going to really enjoy it. The models are beautiful, 6 to choose from. No Mellorews. There's no homeowners. Adjacent to the Calusa Golf and Country Club, this Blazona development project is awesome. I-5, Highway 45, Highway 20. Check out Sunrise Landing. Again, just go online, CalusaSunrise.com and Sunrise Landing. Middle of the week. Boring, right? Sports. Here we are. We're talking about freaking alligators. Way to go, Dennis. Way to go. Way to go. Alligators. I didn't think I'd be talking about alligators when I prepared this evening to come on the show. I'm like, I was thinking, all right, what am I going to talk about today? Alligators didn't pop up into my head, Dennis. You never know where this show's going to go. You never know. Just, what are we going to talk about? The Tour Championship? No. You think Scotty Scheffler's going to win the Tour Championship? Be hard to put your money. I'm rooting for Tommy Fleetwood, the heartbreak that guy's had. I'd love to see Tommy Fleetwood win the Tour Championship. I think it'd be great. The guy's just such a professional in how he handles his setbacks, especially at 2 weeks ago when he had the tournament just right in his hands and once again faltered coming down the stretch. I wouldn't mind seeing him win the Tour Championship. Then you got the Ryder Cup, but the Ryder Cup goes head to head with football. But that's going to be some crowd at Bethpage Black on Long Island. I've played all the courses at Bethpage. The Black course is the only course that I've ever played in my life where it is honestly too hard. I mean, I've played the Olympic Club. I've played Cypress Point. I played some very nice. I played all the golf courses. Shouldn't say all. Many of the open courses in Scotland, St. Andrews, Carnoustie, Muirfield, Turnberry, Royal Troon. Those courses are not that hard, depending on what tee marker you're using. But at Bethpage, I mean, there are holes. If you can't carry the ball in the air, 220 to 240. You can't even get the ball to play for your next shot. It's a hard course. Hard course. Man. Most underrated 90s NFL quarterback. I would choose Drew Bledsoe. Boy, I'd have to go back and think about all the quarterbacks in the 90s. I'm not so sure I'd go Drew Bledsoe. I'd have to think about that. You know, I have not played Shinnecock. That's a course I have not played out on Long Island. Just wiring the return of NHL season. You mean waiting? I can't wait for hockey. Love it. Love it. Training camps open real soon in the National Hockey League. Incredible. I'm a huge hockey fan. Huge. Yankees blowing the 3-0 lead to Boston is mine. I was pretty brutal, but I was talking about a sport that I've actually announced and been involved with. But yeah, I'd put that right there. I'd put that right there. I'll tell you one that I might have the Giants are playing the 49ers, and the game started. The Kings were playing the Miami Heat that night at 6 o'clock. All right. The Giants game was on the late game, right? So I think it started, though, at 3 o'clock. Maybe a little earlier. But the reason why I remember is I watched the game with my son, Trent, who was 6 at the time, next door at the practice facility because we needed to watch the game. And the Giants had a big lead, and they were in complete control of the game. And the Giants had a chance to win the game with a field goal, and it was a botched snap. Anyway, to make a long story short, the officials made a mistake on the call, and the Giants should have had another opportunity near the goal line, which would have been a first down and a chip kick to win in the playoffs. But they didn't call it. So the Giants lose the game. We walk across the parking lot into the arena. And, you know, all the fans know I'm a huge Giants fan, so I'm hearing it from everywhere as I'm standing on the court. I get it. You know, I get it. I'm rehearsing the open 15 minutes before the game with Jerry Reynolds, and Vladdy comes up to me. Vladdy's in the warm-up line behind me. He goes, "Hey, man, your son's not doing well. You need to come over and talk to him." I'm like, what? My son is standing in the tunnel, 6 years old, crying because he's hearing all of the fans yelling stuff at me about how the Giants suck, 49ers this. So I'm literally getting ready to do a game. I had to go, "Hey, Trent, it's okay. It's just meant as a kind of like a joke. It's not really serious." I go, "Don't worry. Your dad's going to be fine. You're going to be fine." And then I walked back onto the court and did the game. Bloody goes, "Is he okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, he'll be okay." But yeah, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. Never forget that. Oh, it must be football season because I've got Corn Dog who wants to talk. I know how he is. He wants to talk big time college football. What's up, buddy? Long time no see. How's your summer been?
Doing good. Yeah, doing good. I took a little summer break, just recharging.
I'm going to
From
talk college
sport.
football on my show beginning September 2nd, buddy.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I've been following. I'll listen sometimes. I haven't joined Rhino's show as much just because I have a new schedule at work, so it's kind of been a little conflicting there. But
Understand. Well, I hope you're able to sometimes catch my show on Fox Sports Radio.
oh yeah, I really like Fox Sports Radio. They have a lot of good stuff on there. What was it? Two Pros and a Joe. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, they got Dan Patrick on in the mornings, then Colin Cowherd. They've got that show you were referring to, but I'll be on every day 3 to 6. So if you're able to check me out, check it out.
All right. First things first, I actually want to go over Notre Dame naming their starting quarterback CJ Carr.
Okay.
If you watch the Gold versus Blue game, he looked the best there. Yeah, I know this was a long time ago in spring. But it was on televised. It was televised on Peacock. You can rewatch it on there if you guys ever get the chance to. He did look the best. I'm glad.
Can they win a national championship, in your opinion?
It's possible this season. I would say I don't think there's a front runner this season.
I agree. There wasn't a front runner last season.
No, yeah, I think this is where we've seen the effects of transfer portal, really, where teams can't just stack like Alabama and Clemson used to do just 5-10 years ago, where their subs were just as good as anyone's starters. Now those guys are like, well, these guys are paying me more, they're making me play.
Yep.
So I'm transferring. So this is where the effects of the transfer portal come into play, where now it's a lot more balance between the top program, Ohio State, Alabama, yep. Georgia, Texas. They're all gonna spend money.
Who's the best team in the SEC? You think Texas this year? Which way you going?
I want to say Texas, but it's hard to bet against Kirby Smart.
It is hard to bet against Kirby Smart, and that program they've developed down there in Athens is.
And they play Texas in Athens this year.
I know that's going to be that might be the best game of the year.
Yeah, that or this opener, Ohio State, Texas.
Ohio State, Texas is going to be one hell of a game. And here's the nice thing about that game. You know how it is in college football, but the loser of that game still is not out of it. They can still make it, and especially with the expanded format, still win a championship. And they probably won't get, if it's a close game, if it's close, the loser won't get knocked down that far in the rankings, in my opinion.
No, there's no way you could justify that if it's a close game. If it's a
blowout, it's going to be a great game. That's going to be next Saturday. It's noon Pacific, right?
So it's a morning game.
Yeah, noon. It's going to be at noon. I think noon California
noon
time.
Eastern, yep.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that.
That's going to be Alabama at Florida State's going on that day, and then the Tiger battle. LSU's going to Clemson.
Yep.
And then the next day is the return of Catholics versus Convicts on Sunday, Miami versus Notre Dame. That's
something else. How about that? Boy, now you're going back down memory lane. Jimmy Johnson, right?
And yeah, I watched. I wasn't alive, but I watched the 30 for 30.
And then Miami, you think of Jimmy Johnson, you think of Howard Schnellenberger, right? And the great coaches they've had there. Well, I want to tell you, man, it's great to have you on again. And I know that I'm still going to be doing this show. So I'm still going to be doing my podcast and everything. So I'm really hoping that you can join me from time to time to talk college football, because you obviously know it very well.
Obviously, and then I see in your message about any good players coming to Sac State. Sac State has actually been on a roll with going into this portal. They actually have about a top 50 to 60 class in the entire college football landscape. They've got a lot of money from a lot of donors out there. I don't know who they are, but they've been spending it. I know a 4-star player from Georgia. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he went from Georgia all the way to Sac State. That would never have happened 10 years ago. I'll tell you that.
Anybody going to go to the games and watch? Does anybody care? I mean, and I mean that in all seriousness. I hope they do well. I hope they do well. I really do. I'm not anti-Sac State, but I mean, are fans going to go out and watch them play?
You know what? Sacramento Kings fans come out even with the bad seasons.
Sacramento's a bad college football town. It always has been since I got there in 1987. The overnight ratings for the big national games are among the worst in the country. UC Davis, Sac State have had very good programs in the past. UC Davis is different because that's a college community. Sacramento's not a college community. But the fans just I'm sorry. I just don't see it. And they talk about, going big time Division I football. That's not going to work in Sacramento. I mean, to me, that's just a waste of money and it's stupid. That's my opinion.
Well, it's not neither of our money being wasted.
No, I understand, but there's a practicality part of all of this.
Yeah.
I agree with you. First of all, you have to build a first class facility. Who's going to build that? That's number one. And number two, like when you think about college football in Sacramento, it's not a college football town. It's a baseball town and it is a pro football town and it's the Sacramento Kings. Okay. It's not college football. And I just don't think you can build the stadium and take a commuter school that has never been good in college football and all of a sudden say, we're going to spend money and we're going to turn it into a big time Division I program. I'm sorry. It's just not going to work.
Yeah. My only thing is I think the area is really good with high school football. And
Yes, it is.
that may really help with,
Relatively speaking. It's not compared to Texas or Florida.
No, but I would say in the state of California, this area from the San Joaquin, Stanislaus to Sacramento County is one of the, I would say, top 10 county. In
I agree, and I used to go to high school football games all the time, and I enjoyed that. And
I think there is a pipeline there. There is a pipeline.
Yeah. There is. Yep. Hey, listen, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for calling. All right.
All right, man. I will be here the fall to end of summer.
Take care, buddy. All right. That's a nice treat to be able to talk to him for the first time in quite a while. That's great. All right. Yeah, of course I remember the call. I think it's to this day, it may be the worst non-call in the history of championship play in the football. You're exactly right. That was clearly pass interference. Every single person in the stadium and on both teams saw it except for the officials. Yeah, that was as bad as it gets. As bad as it gets. Terrible. Just terrible. All right, tomorrow we'll do it again at 7:00 right here. If you don't like that. Appreciate you all. Don't forget, September 2nd, Fox Sports Radio Sacramento. 3 to 6, weekday afternoons. Join me, won't you? This is not my show. This is going to be our show. You and me, our show. Have a great evening, everybody, or wherever else you may be around the globe. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.